touches that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
They run it with Carson. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 10 yards and a Seattle first down. Couple of very nice carries to start this drive out.
Yeah, 2 first downs. And how about that second one? What a nice run on that particular play. I'm telling you, they're going to start to think that this game is easy if they continue to rip off yardage like this.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Mike 51. Here we go.
From the gun, it's Wilson. His throw incomplete. The intended receiver was DK Metcalf. That'll bring up second down.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet.
14, got it. Switch. Watch twist. Big air. 12. One left. Get him, you got him. Zebra. Mike 55. It's a party now. Good.
Second and 10 now, Wilson. And finding the tight end, Hooper. The reception good for 7. It's third down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a fourth down. And on their first drive, the offense staying out there. They're going to go for it on fourth.
Go. Move the team. 51 to Mike.
They'll try and throw for it with Wilson. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 33. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. They were ball hawks last week. They had a trio of interceptions on defense. In the first drive, they pick up right where they left off.
They're creating quite a reputation for themselves, aren't they? And sometimes what happens is, when they know that the defense can take the ball away, as they saw the previous week, now you try too hard to not let them take it away, and you force yourself into errors. They've intimidated them in a sense and gotten the ball from them.
And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Out of the gun, Geis. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
They'll try and get it with Geis. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. Not at all what they envisioned on 3rd down, 3 yards in the wrong direction. So on 4th down, the Redskins will call on Tress Way to punt it away. He only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And it's out of bounds. Now we'll see what the side judge says. He says out at the 8-yard line. So well done there. And these punters, they get more specialized and better each and every year, don't they?
They sure do. And now it's really not the American punters. It's the Australian punters with their kicking academies and that flat drop and just kind of kicking the nose of the football. They're able to almost stop it where they want to, like a good golfer can check one up.
And he'll be hit and dropped for a loss at the 5-yard line.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12.
Go 14. Zoom. Mike 51. Let's go. Hey, 0.
From the shotgun, Wilson. Oh, he tries to get it to Metcalf, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Fabian Moreau. First quarter, and now he already has 2 interceptions.
Yeah, he's got to guard against being tentative from this point forward, though. He's got to still make the right reads, make the proper throws. I've seen guys in this league throw 4 interceptions in a game and win. He's got to understand, put it behind you, keep pressing forward.
And he'll be brought down at about the 25 after a pickup of 4.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
They go play action now. Haskins. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Tedrick Thompson picks it. He was looking for Paul Richardson there.
The good old cover 3 defense, partner. When you start playing football as a safety, that's the first thing you're taught. Middle of the field, be as deep as the deepest receiver in any zone, and break on the football when it's thrown and pick it off, just as we saw there.
Zebra. Hey, alert 3.
After the interception, here's Wilson. Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. The DN, Jonathan Allen, making sure his presence is felt.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Here's Wilson. And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line. Off the edge, Titus. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
Gun. Whip. Watch the whip.
No score after 1 on EA Sports. Second quarter now from Seattle, and it is the Seahawks with the football here as they've got it with a 3rd down and long coming up. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Mike 51.
Instead, they go empty backfield as they'll look to throw. And Wilson's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Landon Collins. And they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line. Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Shotgun handoff now to Geis. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. 11 yards there, first down.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers. And they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick.
And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Jaron Reed muscles his way in for the sack. Well, you don't usually get a sack from a nose tackle spot, but we got one there.
No, we don't. And a lot of the times in passing situations, they end up off the field anyway. So how happy was he to work his way back to the quarterback and put him on the ground? He's going to end up with a nickname after something like that, some Big Jelly or something like that.
And the pressure gets to him again. Olivier Vernon in there to drop him, and sacks on 1st and 2nd downs. Now leads to a 3rd and long. Needs something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Now Haskins, 3rd and long. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Jadeveon Clowney. The offensive line is in tatters as that's now 3 sacks in 3 plays. Here's Tressway now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. He'll return it from the 6. 51 yards on the punt there. And it'll be Seahawk football as they take over deep in their own territory. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. We've seen both of these offenses still sort of in that figuring things out phase, but I suspect some action on the scoreboard soon as they start out here 1st and 10.
Okay, guys, 4 down, 4 down. 51's the mic, 51's the mic.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And he's got his man on the out route. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Now Wilson. Here's Carson with a catch out of the backfield. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and that'll bring up a 3rd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
And the Redskins have an extra man in the secondary here on 3rd. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And it's complete. Hooper. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. That'll pick up the 1st down for Seattle on a gain of 18.
I know I spend a lot of time talking about how tight ends in a lot of cases now are pumped up wide receivers, but they're still big people. He used that frame right there to absorb a really big hit on him and held on to the ball.
Now it's Carson looking for a seam but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. And it's Reuben Foster in on the tackle.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Here's Wilson. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
Wilson of the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. 2 minutes on the clock in what's been a scoreless first half. Coming up at the half, a reminder we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Now it's Wilson. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
And based on my math, they've only converted one time thus far in this game, so you can see the frustration starting to come out a little bit. Third downs, they've been a problem for them all game. They've got to start becoming solutions.
And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Washington. 63 yards on the punt return score as his guys are on the board first here tonight. So that is how we get our first points here in quarter number 2 on the punt return.
Both teams were seeking the momentum that comes from the first score of the game. But when it comes on a special teams play, a punt return, I think that's extra momentum. And now I wonder if they just roll it forward and maybe don't just kick the extra point, but possibly go for 2.
Let's go, baby. The Seahawks take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to pick. And the Redskins do get to him. He goes down for a sack. That's Deron Payne with a sack that time. The Redskins now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Wilson. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
Third and long, it's Wilson. And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. Now Washington going to use the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And taken right at the 35. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And it'll be Redskins football now with a 1st and 10. Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. And now with still more than a minute to go in what's been a tight game, you figure we'll try to see them move the ball downfield.
And remember, they get the kickoff to start the second half, so this is a golden opportunity for them to go down there and put up a couple of 6s back-to-back. What a momentum swing that would be.
Yeah, you might be able to get a 2. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. A huge play there for Washington. 44 yards. The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's 1st and goal from just inside the 10.
Right there, 54, right there. 54, you better be afraid of me.
Out of the shotgun, Haskins. And that is caught, but the back judge right there to say incomplete. And incomplete as he was knocked as he threw it, and it took the ball off course. Nothing on 1st down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line, 2nd and goal.
Pick up the ball. Mike 5-4, Mike 5-4, Mike 5-4. Watch the slant, watch the slant, watch the slant. Hey, one set, check it.
Looking to throw, Haskins. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jadeveon Clowney, his 2nd sack of the night.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
On 3rd and goal, Haskins. And he's going to go down again. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game. Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. The Redskins in a good spot. They've got the lead. They will get the football as the second half gets underway. That's fielded in the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
The second down play, not much better than the first. Just a gain of 1 there. Third down. Here's Haskins. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there. That brings up 4th. Here's Tressway now as he's on to punt for Washington. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Watch out, watch out. Bang, 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 bang. Shit. Alert, 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 alert. Check, check. Lucky, lucky, lucky.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Carson. Give him 3 yards on the run there. That still leaves him with a difficult 3rd and 8 coming up.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
On 3rd down, Wilson. That's complete into the hands of Carson. 10 yards and a Seattle first down. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw and a good one.
Flush to his right. Now on the run. He'll throw it back deep. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Landon Collins.
Okay, it's real simple to say from here, but we know that sometimes as a quarterback, you've got to know when to say when and just throw it away. Flushed out to the right, tries to make something out of nothing here, and he winds up floating one downfield that gets intercepted.
A run on first down, but it's not going to get him much. Maybe a yard, and that's all. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
They stay on the ground. Geis again. And not much there at all as he'll get this only up to about the 11. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
He's going to fire one. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And all the way down to the 26. A huge play there for Washington. 63 yards. So that changes things in a big way. Now from all the way down inside the 30, here's 1st and 10. Going to throw deep for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. Here's Haskins again. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
On 3rd down, it's Thompson. And that's not going to get it done. He'll come up well short of the first at about the 21. Call it a gain of 5. 4th down now.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
And Hopkins' kick is good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
And things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to the goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
The Seahawks take over.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
At their own 25-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10.
Alert, alert, alert. Hey, Mike 51, Mike 51. No. 6-6. Mike 51, Mike 51.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Montez Sweat in there to get him. That is the 6th time that they have sacked him tonight.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle.
25. Mike 51, Mike 51.
Now Wilson. Flushed out right. And incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Mike, 55, Mike. Check. Hey, 0. Watch 55. Check the outs.
To throw is Wilson. Rolling to his left. Oh, did he hang on to it? He did on the dive. Nice grab. It'll be a pickup of 13, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
Well, partner, when you ask anyone other than your QB to throw the ball, you must have a lot of confidence or you think you're really going to fake them out, and it looks like they did exactly that.
Yeah, going deep in the playbook and a great grab on the other end. They failed once in this spot earlier, but the offense will stay out to go for it on 4th down.
Touch 50.
They'll indeed go for it with Wilson. And that one incomplete. They try to sneak in a deep ball with the clock running down, but to no avail as time will expire on this 3rd quarter of play. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. And now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. On the ground, it's Geis. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. And I think we can get used to seeing more of that in this fourth quarter, especially if they're having success on the ground like they did there.
Yeah, I think back when we met with the head coach in preseason, and all he talked about was building a bully. And I think it was this situation he was envisioning. Trying to ice a game, plenty of time left, but being able to give the ball to his big runner and pound away and try and finish off a game.
Stepping up, he'll try and run. And he'll only get a yard to bring up 3rd and 1. All that gets him is just a yard, and now it's 3rd down. The Redskins on 3rd down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This time they face a 3rd and 2.
Mike 5-4, Mike 5-4, Mike 5-4. You're trapped, you're trapped. Hey, one set, OFO. Mike 54.
3rd and 2, now Haskins. And that is caught. Touchdown, Washington. Chris Thompson, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Redskins are able to stretch the lead out further. Well, he wasn't the guy they were initially going for, but after going through the progressions, it worked.
When you have plenty of people who can catch the football, you don't always have to go to your primary target, and sometimes that target is actually covered. Nice job coming off of that and getting it to someone who was open.
And the man out of the backfield gets in for the score. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points. You feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Eluding the pressure right. And some room to roam now. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. Able to find a lot of empty space there, picking up the first down and a 21-yard gain.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit, because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw. Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
And with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Here's Wilson to throw. Looking middle, and that's complete. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. Boy, the evolution of the game and how these guys in plays like that can get out of the pocket, keep plays alive, it just makes things so much harder for defenses.
It really does, and we're talking about an era in the game where the quarterbacks are the most athletically gifted that we've seen in a bunch. I mean, when you talk about collectively, it's unbelievable. So their ability to move is practiced now. It's not necessarily, oh, he just took off and you guys figure it out. When he takes off, everyone knows where to go now. They know how to run routes, change things, make themselves presentable for the quarterback. It's a lot of time that they put in on it. It's not just your static 1, 2, 3. This is where the ball goes anymore.
Check 55 to Mike. Check 55 to Mike. Mike, 55. Check 55.
Fourth down. Here's Wilson. He's got Hooper on the short connection. And now this is going to depend on the spot. And they say he's just short. The Seahawks go for it but can't convert. And this defense will take over right near midfield at the 49-yard line. Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. With this lead and the football, things obviously looking good, but maybe, you've taught me this before, maybe this is where the defense is hoping that the offense helps them preserve that shutout that they've got going.
And it has to be in the minds of the offense. that they know how rare it is to get a shutout. So take care of them, protect them, take care of the ball, move it downfield, run the clock down. You don't want your defense to have to go on the field again the rest of the game. Reward them.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10.
It's just me and you. Come on, 54 is Mike. Check, watch 54, watch 54. Watch the backer. Mike,
on 2nd down, here's Haskins. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. Olivier Vernon able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening. Two minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Redskin football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On 3rd down, this is Howard. And he'll push his way up to about the 44 here. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. And now the punter, Tress Way, as he sends this one away. Out of bounds as he appeared to be looking for the corner. He got it. They're going to mark this at the 4-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
And from that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them.
1st and 10 at the 24-yard line.
Now Wilson on 1st down. Got an open man, Keelan Cole. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially.
1st and 10 at the 47-yard line.
Mike 55, Mike 55.
From the shotgun, Wilson. Throw left side complete. It's Carson.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
It's now 2nd and 6.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6.
Got it. 55, Mike 55.
Throwing again here, Wilson. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
And finding Keelan Cole. And they're going to have another 1st down here as the tackle's made at the Redskins' 31-yard line. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Wilson will throw again. Floating one, incomplete. Chris Carson, the intended receiver, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. Well, this secondary's done such a good job of frustrating these receivers tonight. Another example right there on the deep ball.
Sometimes when the sun goes down and it's just the bright lights in the stadium, puts a little extra spring in their step, doesn't it? And that's what we're seeing from the defenders. Doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. Deep ball.
Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. And it appears the offense is going to try this again. They've yet to convert the first 3 times on 4th down, but they're going once more. Throwing is Wilson. tight end Hooper. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone.
So hail to the Redskins as they get the victory here.
And they did it in shutout fashion. Impressive.
Would it be too bland of a statement to say they didn't have the greatest day offensively? I mean,
did enough, though. Did enough. But, yeah, you're right.
Most games, it wouldn't have been enough. So they've got to go into the locker room and applaud their defensive mates and say, guys, you really carried us today. We'll try and get you back next time. But as for today, you guys were nails out there.
So for Washington, it's back-to-back victories now after the Week 1 defeat as they move to 2-1. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Big D to take on the Cowboys. Meanwhile, for the Seahawks, they too will exit with a 2-1 record. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.